Hola amigos, today we're flying LATAM's Premium Economy, or as I like to call it, European Business Class, just without the fancy lounge. The seats a little comfier, a few extra inches of legroom, and just enough service to feel like a VIP. Almost. So is this really Premium Economy, or just a business class wannabe?
Why didn't you call? Why didn't you? Why didn't you?
So this review is about flying LATAM on the Premium Economy from Cusco to Lima, but this view here from Machu Picchu is just so incredible, had to start here. Out of all the trips I've ever done, I can hand on heart say that visiting Peru was one of the most culturally rich and one of the best trips I've ever made. The people are warm, the food is amazing, and even if you've seen this on TV, this man-made wonder, in person it will move you to your core in such a magical way. Even though getting here took quite a bit of planning and the roads up here were a little on the narrow side, sadly though our review doesn't start here. So after spending a few hours, we must make our way back into the heart of Aguas Calientes, grab some lunch, and then it's travel by train back to the city of Cusco. Which wasn't exactly cheap, but it's well worth it, even though it takes over 4 hours and it's 70 miles away. But the route was originally intended to provide supplies and for trade, and it's the only way into and out of the city. You do get a snack box and there's entertainment car with rock music and a pay per drink menu. Beautiful property here, and this entrance hall is part of the Marriott in the middle of Cusco. It is draped and dripping in culture, and let's have a quick look at why this is one of the best hotels I've ever stayed in. Despite having a free tour every night, the facts didn't really stick in my brain, but the entrance to the property is the original building, with the rest sadly gone due to an earthquake. Even so, the property was lovingly designed with the original architecture in mind, where 5 days of the week you can meet the on-site alpaca, who is very sweet and it's totally free for guests. There's even a swimming pool and a spa in the basement, and some of the original city can be found on the basement level. What's not to love? So we've had an incredible stay, and there's just enough time to see the alpaca one last time before we go to the airport. Everything here is really local, despite the existence of one McDonald's, but it's hidden away, and don't make the mistake of not spending at least a few nights here, especially to get over the altitude sickness. Having recovered from it 5 days ago, the journey to the airport only takes 20 minutes, and it's 5 kilometers away. The traffic is usually alright, despite the surprisingly large population of 500,000. Before we get to the check-in, it would be useful to discuss the booking process and the different options and why we felt Premium Economy represented more value. Taking a random date in March on today's route from Cusco to Lima, as well as picking a reasonable departure time which allows for a quick breakfast, the $9.50 will do, and noting that the prices are listed in Great British Pounds, with fares starting at $32.90. For economy, there are 3 different options, with basic allowing for a small personal item, which is not great, with light then adding basically a rucksack, while full adds free seat selection for standard seats and a checked bag. Although at this point it's an extra £41, and honestly, what tourist would be travelling without a checked bag? The difference then to Premium Economy is £30 on top, and this adds a front row seat with the middle seat blocked, more legroom and priority boarding. While a slightly better food offering, which as you'll see during the video is okay but not amazing. I'd say it's debatable whether this represents good value or not, however the check-in queues can be long and you get a dedicated line. And as it's not business class, don't expect lounge access unless you're leaving the country. Which brings me to my last point before I take a break. Don't expect any special treatment if you have SkyTeam status, because while Delta took a large stake in LATAM and took them sadly away from oneworld, they are not a full member, and I don't even think you can credit any flying miles to them. After clearing security, the checkpoint took about 2 minutes. Bear in mind today's flight is domestic, we reached the waiting area really quickly. I joke, but honestly, I wish we'd taken our time a little more getting from the city, because this is a fairly small airport and there isn't a huge amount to do. And if my wallet wasn't so firmly closed, I can enjoy a bottle of Inca Cola, which I can't describe is almost as addictive as Chi Morada, which is a local beverage made from red sweet corn, which sounds odd, but it's so good. I'm still absolutely stuffed from lunch, so I'm not going to eat anything except for a bite of Brent's ice cream. Which, okay, I'll admit it, I'm being annoying. But I didn't want any, but when someone else has it, and they're buying it, well, sharing is caring. Shortly after, I decided that the only responsible thing was to stay away from Brent's ice cream. So I took a moment to enjoy the view out the window, and a quick 2-minute distraction of Cusco's many hills, before leaving Brent in peace and heading off to explore. The entire terminal is probably a 60-second walk from end to end, but eventually I did find the ramp that leads down to the Oni Lounge, complete with a charming little private jet parked outside for decoration. With sadly no other planes taxiing around the parking lot, I ventured back towards the shops, which have some extremely cute souvenirs at higher than downtown prices, ultimately returning back to my seat to await the boarding. Today's very quick hop over to Lima clocks in at just 1 hour and 30 minutes, with the city only 355 miles away. That's barely enough time to watch a single episode of Kim's Convenience, not that I would, because I usually spend the takeoff and landing listening to music and staring dramatically out the window, kinda like I'm in a travel documentary. I do like a nice queue, and boarding for today's flight is going to be very civilised, with passengers needing extra assistance and Premium Economy, which is Group 1, boarding at the same time, with Economy in Group 2 and 3. If you've ever flown business class within Europe, today's product will feel very familiar. Yes, it's more of a polite gesture than a true upgrade, mainly because airlines love the flexibility of shifting the cabin around based on demand. A fixed, dedicated product just wouldn't fit the pricing model, unlike what you'd say get on Cathay Pacific, where business class is actually business class and not economy with ambition. On Aerolopa's mock-up, LATAM's A320neo has 3 rows of Premium Economy, in a 3-3 layout with the middle seat remaining empty. If you ignore row 1, which has extra space, rows 2 to 4 have 34 inches of pitch, which reduces down to 33 inches in row 6, and down to 30 inches, going as low as 28 in rows 13 to 30. So in terms of the width, all the seats have 17.7 inches of width. Just a quick note, if you're going for the first row, which has the extra legroom, I'd probably avoid sitting on the left, because as you can see it has a slightly awkward window, which is odd because the cabin crew sit directly on the other side during takeoff and landing. It can be polarised, which gives a bit more privacy, but it's just slightly odd. The headrest is also adjustable, not that I really need it on today's flight, but it's a nice addition, and yes, of course there's a seat back pocket. There's even a recline of 5.5 inches, which gets worse as you head towards the back of the plane, with row 30 having none at all. The only thing to mention is the air nozzles above you, as well as 2 USB-A sockets and 1 universal plug socket which refused to work unless I had an adapter, not so universal. And to conclude before the takeoff, there's no need for a separate section called amenities, because you do get a pretty Machu Picchu inspired bottle of water, but nothing else. Much like its cousins over the pond, LATAM doesn't provide in-flight entertainment screens, so you need to bring something to do. Luckily, today's flight is not very long, and shortly I'm hoping for some distractions. With the sight of a glorious metal red cart comes the hopes and dreams of any travel blogger, namely that it's hiding more of that beautiful yellow Inca Cola. Honestly, it's one of those things you have to try it, but that's easier said than done outside of Peru. And now the snacks, and I use the term generously. Today's selection was actually surprisingly lovely for such a short trip. And a very delicious banana muffin, a cereal bar that was far tastier than expected, and a pack of papas nativas Peruvian crisps, which looked like they were handcrafted from every colour a potato could possibly dream of. It's not bad at all for a quick flight, and as I keep reminding myself, this is premium economy and not business, so it fits the product perfectly. With the views disappearing just as quickly as the minutes, I generally didn't have enough time to even think about visiting the bathroom. Not that that's particularly exciting on the A320 anyway. So instead, here's another glass of that glorious cola before we begin our descent into Lima, with Brent beautifully demonstrating the only other form of onboard entertainment, or at the very least a highly effective way to annoy your neighbour who keeps staring out of your window. So unfortunately there aren't any in-flight entertainment screens, but that's okay because you have streaming capability over the Wi-Fi. Just bear with me a second. Once you're connected, you can pay for Wi-Fi, which given within the air for less than an hour, choose appropriately. But the difference is small, so buy whatever's appropriate to you. Otherwise, messaging is free for LATAM Pass members or various Delta status holders, and you can also enjoy movies, TV shows and music. I don't really feel like this needs to be dragged out because it's a domestic short flight with premium economy. Looking back on it now, it was such a fun experience and there was a lot of culture and passion in LATAM. The snacks are fine and honestly would be good to compare a longer flight, say 2 to 3 hours long, and see what they deliver. As it's 2025, I'm content with streaming over Wi-Fi and they do supply plugs to charge your phone, so they got you covered. I'll just conclude by retelling you just how wonderful this trip was and how much I love Peru. I even nearly reviewed the train ride from Machu Picchu, but even the travel blogger needs his rest. Thank you for watching and buen viaje.